Welcome to the Wrestling Replay. I'm Kato. We are going to get into the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. What a pay-per-view it was. If you got to watch it, if you didn't and you plan on watching it through the network, please stop this video right now because it will have spoilers of every single match that took place. But I actually advise you to watch it regardless. If you haven't seen it and you want to keep listening, it was a really good pay-per-view. So the pay-per-view kicks off with the story that I have been invested in the most. The first ever I Quit Hell in a Cell match in WWE history, and it did not disappoint. A lot of emotion that was placed in their storyline through all the promos. It actually pulled into the match inside the cage. The story continued to be told throughout the whole match, especially when that whip came out. Oh my God, when they pulled that whip out, it took this match to the next level. It's funny how just a simple weapon like a whip, but used in the right way, in the right context, can elevate the situation. It made it so much more personable when they brought out the whip, It really began to get brutal between the two. It also poured out a side of Jey that we was unsure if he was going to actually be able to reach down and get to because of his love for Roman, Even the punishment that he took, it just showed how much heart he had and that he wasn't going to just come in here and take a little punishment and give up. The match also showed just how much Roman Reigns has developed and elevated in his role as tribal chief. It showed how malicious Roman Reigns can actually be and what he's like now and going forward. So this is what he did to his cousin. Imagine what he'll do to others just to remain at the top of the food chain. All right, that's what I got from it. I got that he's set a tone. This match just told so much, man. Like the love that brothers had, it told us the old Roman is still inside, but he's still fighting with that tribal chief role. It's like he's being consumed by this role of the tribal chief. This is definitely a match of the year candidate, and it's crazy because this is actually the first match of the night. This is the opening match, which is the quality of the main event. How do any other match after this follow up? I'm not sure how you're going to be able to keep everyone's attention and focus on the other matches because of what we just seen. So Roman retains his title, but only because of the love that Jey has for his brother. Jey only uttered the words "I quit" because of the punishment that was going on to Jimmy at the time. Jimmy had entered the cage to step in to stop Roman from smashing the steel steps onto Jey's head. And Jimmy thought he had gotten through to Roman, saying, "Hey, Oos, we're cousins, we're blood, we're family, we could work through this." And Roman used that as an end to get Jey close enough so he could put him into his new guillotine choke, which actually is a pretty good move. I like that. Roman has used a submission. He definitely need that because that spear and that Superman punch hasn't been putting people away like it used to. So once he got Jey close enough, he put him into that guillotine choke. And Jey's going out. He's screaming, he's kicking, he's flailing his arms, and Jey finally realized what's going on, and that's the only reason Jey says "I quit." He only quit to save Jey Uso. So this storyline just told so much. This match told so much, and to be honest, I think it was the perfect match from start to finish. From start to finish, they told you a perfect story. The in-ring action was perfect. They didn't go over the top. They didn't have to leave the cage. It kept you invested throughout the whole match. You know what I'm saying? And this is the type of match that definitely has replay value for years and years to come. So this is one of those, hey man, let's go back, 3 years from now and watch that Roman and Jey. They really did that thing, man. They really put on a good match. That's the type of match we had tonight. So with them kicking off the show like that, I'm really pumped up and really amped to get to a few other matches that I have vested interest in the storylines because I want to see exactly how they are going to advance their stories. So the show rolls on with Elias versus Jeff Hardy. This match has come about pretty much from a feud that was never really ended from Smackdown, and Elias being sidelined 5 months ago when he was struck by a car that he believed Jeff Hardy was driving. Clearly it was Sheamus, but this is the story that Elias has told himself, I guess to keep him going, to keep that feud going. But this match still ended with no closure. Elias went out to the outside of the ring to look to use the guitar to actually gain an advantage on Jeff Hardy, but Jeff managed to get the guitar away from Elias, smash it over Elias' back. The referee sees it, and it's a DQ. So this match didn't really advance or do anything to help keep the storyline going. Only thing I can think of is next they will have a no disqualification match, maybe a ladders, tables, and chairs type match, something like that, or a guitar on a pole, something crazy they may come up with. So I believe that they got Elias back. They wasn't really sure exactly what to do with him yet, so they said, hey, let's go ahead and finish off this Jeff Hardy move, because Jeff isn't really doing anything right now because he just got the Raw himself. So for that fact, I can understand, and just waiting until it's the right time to use them for a certain storyline. But in the meantime, trying to bring closure to one that happened prior. So I get them from that standpoint. The next match is actually between The Miz and Otis. Otis lost in the court of Otis, with JBL deciding that The Miz deserves to fight for an opportunity at Otis' Money in the Bank briefcase. So this match has really a lot of implication of what is going to happen going forward. If Otis retains, we can look forward to who's he going to challenge. Will it be Roman? Will it be the winner of Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton later on? If The Miz wins, he's been down this road before. He's an ex-world champion, and it'll be interesting to see what he would like to do with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Otis isn't really a singles competitor, so I wasn't expecting too much of great in-ring action from this match. I was really expecting how to advance the storyline, where they're going to go with the Money in the Bank briefcase. So what happens is Morrison actually gets himself ejected in the match and is sent to the back. Tucker takes the Money in the Bank briefcase, smashes it over Otis's head. Tucker turns on Otis, and Miz is the new Money in the Bank briefcase holder. What this does now is we'll finally get to see something where Tucker is interjected in a storyline on his own as a singles competitor. I don't know if this was their plan all along, to have Tucker turn by taking their briefcase, and that's why they let Otis win. I doubt they thought that far ahead, but we knew something was up when these two was actually split up as a tag team, which I don't understand why, because they was one of the better and more entertaining tag teams on the roster. So I'm assuming they just want Tucker in a bigger role, especially as a heel. But right now, Raw is pretty much stacked with heels from top to bottom. So it will be interesting to see where Tucker fits in from here on out. So we could definitely look forward to Tucker and Otis. I'm just not sure how entertaining those one-on-one matches will be. So the show must go on, and lucky for me, it's another storyline that I am heavily invested in. It's the Sasha Banks and Bayley storyline. I feel like every time these two women get together or they're feuding with each other, their game is just elevated. They know each other so well that they tend to outdo themselves every single time. Well, this is the first time that we have Bayley as the actual heel, so this should be very interesting. I want to know what levels will Bayley go to retain her title inside of Hell in a Cell against her friend. We know that Banks is fighting off emotion. She was hurt. She was injured. She felt like she lost her friend. She felt like she put, everything on hold to make sure that Bayley remained champion, and that wasn't reciprocated back. So this is also one of the better storylines. So throughout the match, I mean, we have all types of weapons being brought out. We have tables, we had chairs, we had fire extinguishers, we had ladders, we had candlesticks. These two ladies really brought it in this match, and it picked the energy right back up where it was. And it was a great match placement on this card for the fact that, you know, as soon as they died down, let the energy calm down and relax a little bit, they ram it right back up with another Hell in a Cell match. So that way you're not getting a Hell in a Cell match back at the back at the back. But these ladies got very creative inside the match. They used weapons in ways I've never seen them use before. This was definitely the best Bayley's and Banks match between the two thus far. And I hope that this is, you know, only the beginning. I hope it's going to be plenty more down the road, because they just keep topping themselves. So this match was much like the first match of the night, with it being a lot of emotion. You have two best friends in there who's going at it with each other, and there was times that, you know, Banks hesitated, like she didn't want to do this to Bayley, but she needed to, kind of like Jey hesitated with Roman. Overall, this match was absolutely amazing. I feel like they were sitting in the back thinking there's no way we're going to let Roman and Jey just outshine us and steal the show. And they came out and said we are not to be, top. So Randy and Drew has a lot to follow up with those two matches starting off the show. So I'm really looking forward to the main event tonight. This match had a lot of falsies. I mean, a lot of times you thought the match was over, but it wasn't. So it really kept you on the edge of your seat. Every single time Bayley would hit her move, you're like, okay, this is it. Banks is hurt. Banks was out. No, she hit the elbow. Banks kicked out. She hit the Bayley the back. Banks kicked out. But at the end of the day, Bayley's 380-day reign came to an end with her tapping out to Banks. But it's no way we've seen the end of these two. It's no possible way. I'm really hoping that this is just the beginning, or at least the middle of their storyline, and they can stretch this out to at least WrestleMania. This story line has been really good, and we know we're going to continue to get great matches. With that said, the show keeps rolling. We have Bobby Lashley representing the Hurt Business versus Slapjack. What a horrible name. Jesus. Versus Slapjack for the United States title. And this is a feud I'm just waiting to end. I really have no interest at all, especially not after the Fiend came and just destroyed Retribution by himself and the whole Hurt Business team. It took them a whole match just to do what the Fiend did in under 1 minute. So I'm really not interested in this feud at all. I just can't wait for it to end. The match overall wasn't that bad of a match. This is my first time actually seeing Slapjack in one-on-one action. I'm not even sure who he was prior to. It was nice to actually get to see him one-on-one and kind of get to see his movesets and what he brings inside of the ring. But this match ended just as we thought it would end, with Bobby Lashley putting on that Lashley lock and making Slapjack tap out. As soon as the match is over, Retribution storms the ring and try to take advantage of Bobby Lashley while he's tired after fighting that full match. But of course, the Hurt Business made their way down and Retribution retreats. So I feel like this is definitely going to be the feud that continues all the way to Survivor Series, and they have that traditional 4-on-4 elimination style tag team. But you do notice the stare down between Lashley and Mustafa Ali at the end of the match. So maybe they're gearing Mustafa Ali for a one-on-one match with Lashley for the U.S. title. I have no interest in Mustafa Ali carrying the U.S. title at all. There's way better wrestlers on the roster that I would rather see with it. I feel like that title should be more of a workers title, guys who can really work inside that ring and who puts the title on the line, if not every week, at least twice a month, maybe 3 times a month, not counting the pay-per-views. Like Cena had the open call-out challenge for the U.S. title. I feel like that's the type of title they should have, especially with them not having a TV title that in the WCW days, and even now the AEW days, will be defended week in, week out with a TV time limit. I believe that WWE should either create a title like that, a TV title that could jump from brand to brand, so the champion can challenge anyone, or anyone can challenge the champion from either brand at either time, throughout the week. That would be pretty cool, I believe. But we finally make it to our Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton Hell in a Cell match for Drew McIntyre's title. Will Randy see another title reign? Will Drew McIntyre retain his title? This match kicks off in typical Randy Orton fashion, man. The typical Viper, you gotta love him. So he's dressed up as one of the guys working around the ring, one of the camera crew, and he actually attacks Drew McIntyre before Drew even gets inside of the cell, and these two start to brawl on the outside of the cell for a good while before finally making their way back inside the cell. This match did not disappoint at all, man. I mean, every Hell in a Cell match tonight was phenomenal. But what I like most about this match is that it told a complete different story than the other two. These two had a hatred for each other, so the match ended up ramping up even quicker. But one thing I can say for sure is that Randy Orton brought out the best in Drew McIntyre. When we look back and we follow the series, we'll notice that these two guys was at the top of their games. Every match that they had, it got better and better and better. And that's hard to do, to top yourself time in and time out. During the course of this match, Randy Orton actually escapes and scales the top of the cage, resulting in Drew McIntyre actually going through the announce table at ringside. But the champ still had fight inside of him. Randy managed to get Drew back inside the ring, but Drew landed a huge kick, a Claymore kick, resulting in Randy Orton actually falling out the ring. So what does he do? Line him up for number 2. One thing we know about Randy and that RKO is that it comes out of nowhere. Randy hits the RKO and now has reached that mountaintop for 14 times in his career. Yes, I said it. You heard me. Let's say it again. He has reached the mountaintop in 14 times in his career. We're talking about legendary company. All right. We're talking about Hall of Fame status right now. This run will truly give Randy Orton a chance to top Ric Flair and John Cena for having the most world title runs. I'm really excited to see where it goes. I hope he can hit that lucky number 17, man. That would be awesome to be able to see it in my lifetime, One thing I must say is that this Hell in a Cell card was the best Hell in a Cell pay-per-view that I have ever seen. Since the beginning of Hell in a Cell, this topped them all. Just that main event alone setting that tone, and I was like, there's no way that these other matches are going to keep up, and it's going to, hold a candle to what Jey and Roman just did. Sasha and Bayley came out and damn near stole the show. They damn near stole the show. I think they had the best Hell in a Cell match. I think they're number 1. Roman was number 2, and Drew McIntyre and Randy was number 3. But every single match was absolutely phenomenal. It was really good. Bobby Lashley match actually wasn't too bad. So it really leaves just the Jeff and Elias and the Miz and Otis match. But Miz and Otis match actually, told the story. We got to a different storyline. We got to see now that the Money in the Bank is held by the Miz, so we can see what he wants to do with it. This show was really good. Only thing I really miss or really would have liked to see was probably the New Day and the Street Profits, either or, in a tag team Hell in a Cell match. But when I think of a tag team Hell in a Cell match, I think of the New Day and the Usos. So I'm not sure if they would have been able to top a match like New Day and the Usos. So maybe it was best that they were left off the card. Nonetheless, this Hell in a Cell will go down as the best Hell in a Cell in my book. Let me know what you all think. Let me know what you think about the new storyline with Tucker and Otis, with the Miz being the new Money in the Bank champion, with Randy Orton now being the 14-time world champion, with Banks actually being the Smackdown champion now. Will Bayley come back for her title? Will she want to get another shot right away? Will she try to wait to Rumble? Let me know what you guys think about the pay-per-view as a whole. As you know, it was one of my favorites. Hell in a Cell is actually one of my favorite pay-per-views this year, and that's including WrestleMania. So I would definitely like to hear from you guys. And remember, once we reach 100 subscribers, we will begin our monthly giveaways. So please, 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 when you listen, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit subscribe, and turn your notifications on so that every time we drop a video, you can be eligible for that prize. All right, tomorrow we got Monday Night Raw, so we get to see where things are going to go with Tucker. We'll get to see where things go with Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. I can't wait. This was a great pay-per-view. I had a great time watching it. I hope you all enjoyed it as well. This is Kato. I'm signing off. Peace.